back, everybody, for this week's edition of Weekly Roundup. Really quick before I get started, I will not be addressing the Michael Jackson documentary, mostly due to the fact that I'm over in Europe. It's hard for me to see it, and I wasn't going to pay to have the HBO, I guess we could say app or whatever, added to my Hulu. It's not even that serious, so I won't be talking about it. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. Gonna start off with giving flowers. It was said this week actually by Alex Trebek himself that he announced that he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he's currently battling with that. So definitely prayers up to for him, and the fact that it's stage 4 obviously means that it is at a very aggressive state. I take it that it had, I guess, in order for them to even notice it, I guess it had to get to that level, but definitely prayers over him. He says that he's going to fight, he's going to win this battle, so I stand in agreement with him on that. So, first topic. So you have a group of high school students in Alabama getting drunk, and you have one particular guy just sitting back recording this discussion. Now, how this got uploaded to the internet, I do not know. I absolutely do not know, but it did, and let's just say he had some very, very interesting things, and not just actually the group had interesting things to say. So listen to this, and I'll be right back.
Without the Holocaust, what would the world be like?
We would have white people still. All of the niggers would not be here.
Jews would run the world without the Holocaust.
Fuck niggers, fuck Jews.
Jews are fine
If the
because they're
Holocaust
white.
never happened, Jews would be running the world right
It's
now.
fine. We just need niggers gone. So
Think about
mix
that.
Oreos.
Think about that.
What are you gonna do with them?
You stick them in concentration
No,
camps
you
and
have
fucking
to. No, you have to
barb
wait till they die off.
It's charging.
No,
No,
we run niggers because they do football for us and rap music, and we pay them for that.
No, they do nothing. Do you want to know what the fucking Democrat and like whole Republican?
How about we just kick out all the
Republicans
Democrats
are
and we go on
niggers that
strike?
want to
You still
take white
videoing it?
people's money who don't want to.
Yeah. So, first things first. Y'all also saw the tweets and whatnot. This is very reminiscent of, I can't remember the girl, but it was one girl who I guess was from up north, so I believe New Jersey, went to one of the southern states, and she had pretty much went on a rant and said, I'm in the South now, so I can say this. Let's just say she went in the South alone, and what the college that she was attending dropped her like a bad habit, and I think she was also part of a sorority too. Same exact thing. So I'm going to offer to these group of, delinquents the same thing I said for her. Whoever your friends are, or whoever that friend was, yeah, you need to pick a better choice of friends, because the fact that this was leaked and then made its way to the internet, sucks to be you, but it doesn't negate what was said by these group of students. And what I will say is, I'm not going to say I don't believe this, but again, I think we all know that this type of hatred, this type of racism, is a learned behavior. It's definitely a learned behavior, and the fact that they feel so strongly about this to the point where you're saying, putting people in concentration camps. And it's so funny that even with this, you have so many Americans that are quick to say to African Americans, you let it go, slavery was so long ago and all this other stuff, not realizing that it really wasn't that long ago, and African Americans are the only group that we're told to forget something in our past, even though it's not that far in our past. Every other group is allowed to hold on to the injustices that was done against them, except for us. But again, the world that we live in. Next story, Mario Batali. Like I said, I knew him from the Food Network, and I would watch Food Network all the time, especially growing up. My fat ass. But I remember him from there. Well, it has come out that because of sexual assault allegations, he pretty much has to forfeit 16 restaurants. So it was said that Mr. Batali will no longer profit from the restaurant in any way, shape, or form. This was said by Tanya Bastanik Manali. I hate people mispronouncing my names. I'm not trying to mispronounce hers, but she is the head day-to-day operations at the company. It's a new company that has yet to be named, but I guess it's replacing. It's created to replace the Batali and Bastanik Hospitality Group, and also the shares that he has in Italy are pretty much. I think it's a small share that he has in it. It's a fast-growing global chain of luxury Italian supermarkets, but the a spokesperson, Chris Giglio, has pretty much said that Italy is in the process of acquiring his minor interest in Italy, USA. So, yeah, coming for him. What I will say is, it does suck that, like I said, I still need to do more digging because this is the first that I'm hearing of it. It does suck that, when the allegations come, that people do get hit as hard as they do. Because there have been some cases where, people will sexual assault allegations come up. People lose everything only for it to come out that think that it never happened, and now they have to rebuild, and sometimes the damage is already done. So what I will say is, if Mario Batali did do this, then everything he's getting, he deserved that and so much more. If he didn't do it, then my heart is definitely going to go out to him for this. So again, everything is alleged, but even with everything being alleged, this is what's happening to him currently. In R. Kelly news, not a whole lot to discuss here. I wasn't able to see the interview that he did with Gayle King, so unfortunately I cannot comment on that. Couldn't comment on the what you do with the Michael Jackson thing. Now there are some internet clips and whatnot that I will show you that had me laughing and whatnot, but I wasn't able to see the interview. I've been searching to find it, still can't find it because it just released on Friday, but I can't find it anywhere. Regardless, shortly after that interview, he was jailed yet again because of him owing over $160,000 in bad child support. He has thus been released, but they're not saying who has paid the bill. And really quickly, to the woman that paid his previous bill, you have a lot of people giving her grief because everybody's like, you should have paid the child support. At the same exact time, there was an alleged bomb threat. I don't know if anyone actually did take a bomb to the daycare, but in the event if someone does, like I said, trying to get back at her, you also have to remember, like, there are kids that if someone were to do it, trying to get back at her, you do realize that you're going to hurt kids. So so even though you're upset with her for freeing R. Kelly for raping young girls, you're going to sit here and thus injure and potentially kill a whole slew of pretty much babies. You're absolutely no better. So, like I said, all of that was alleged in terms of the bomb threat, but yeah, that is crazy. So what I will do is I will show you what the internet had to say. I'll be right back.
Hello there, Your Honor. I want to say I'm sorry for the things I've done, and I try and be stronger in this life I chose. But I want you to know that door I closed, and Your Honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. To my mother, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. To the victim, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry, sorry, sorry.
Okay, like I said, we're wrapping this thing up. It's not a whole lot. I think the Michael Jackson thing would have actually eaten up some time. The second to last story that I have is actually going to eat up some time, but I'm all the way here for it because, and yeah, there's two that's going to eat up some time, but the very second to last one's actually worth it. Anyway, so Khloe Kardashian, in the midst of everything that was going on between her and Jordan Woods, it has thus come out that she is doing her best to keep Tristan away from their daughter True. And I know in the last video there were points that, like, towards the end I was calling him Christian. I don't really care about the guy, but you know, I at least said his name right in the very beginning. Dang nabbit. But you know, there was that. She also unfollowed him on social media. Like, what the hell is that going to do? But the reality is, I really don't care, but I'm reporting on it. But the only reason that I'm talking to you about it is because the internet had a field day playing, you know, hot potato with her scalp. So I'm going to show you what the internet had to say, and I'll be right back. All right, now Peter Thomas. So Peter Thomas was the I was about to say the wife of Cynthia Bailey, was the husband of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Cynthia Bailey was. He was recently apprehended. Was it in Miami? Yeah, in Miami, held without bond for a pending extradition to Louisiana. Apparently, he had written a bad check. Well, he is now out of, was it prison or was it jail? Was it prison? I'm going to just say jail. He's now out of jail. And he actually went into a very candid explanation of what all took place. So here's what he had to say.
Okay, I'm not gonna get up and do the R. Kelly. All right, but what I'm gonna say to all my fans out there who care, because I just got out last night at 10:30 out of Dade County jail. I was wearing that red jumper that says Dade County Jail on it. From Friday morning, last Friday at 10:50, got off the plane from Jamaica, coming back from a successful meeting down there with the Jamaica Tourist Board, and my friend Kai, who's set up the Made Man Convention in Jamaica 2020, and I got arrested. A fugitive warrant that I didn't know about. I thought that incident was squashed. So let me explain to you what happened. Because you guys like to put it out there that I'm writing bad checks and worthless checks and all of that stuff. That was the charge, okay? But listen to this. Last February, I did a show with Carrie Hilston. I was in LA with my son at the All-Star game, and she had a successful performance at Club One. And the same person that we purchased Carrie Hilston from went ahead and made an attempt to do Chico the Barge. But I had concern, and Chico is a friend of mine. And the gentlemen that were the go-between, so-called agency, okay, I deposited a check in his account for $4,000. The same time I deposited that check, my checking account was compromised. The bank shut it down. That means somebody get my debit card number, was using it everywhere. got a letter from the bank, okay? Send it to this gentleman after he called spazzing about sending him $1,200 because he already advanced the artist money. And the whole attitude wasn't right. So I said, you know what, maybe we should go in a different direction. But he still wanted me to send him money. I didn't know what for because we didn't buy the act. The act never came to the state of North Carolina, never performed at my club. So I don't see myself owning anything. Well, he turned around and he went. We operated in a small community. He turned around and went to the state attorney in St. Johns County, Louisiana. Never been there, by the way. And reported us worthless check for $4,000. I don't know why he would do that because nothing was exchanged. I got a letter around 2 months later from the district attorney. I spoke to her. I sent her the letter from the bank. Okay, I explained to her the situation. All right, and she said she'll look into it and get back to me. She never got back to me. I never knew there was a warrant for my arrest. All right, and that's how this all started. Well, what I could tell you that I learned out of this experience is that I've never been in jail and spent more than in and out, okay, on some false accusation all the time. But 6 days I spent in jail, 23 hours a day in a cell. Okay, celebrity status I have make them put me around no one for 6 days, 23 hours a day. I don't wish that on anyone. Okay, but I had time to think. I had time to take a lot of medication because I'm claustrophobic. Okay, so high blood pressure pills, okay, anxiety pills, okay, eating bread and water for 6 days. This shit was crazy. Okay, never thought I was gonna come out. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Okay, but I survived. You know, and I wish if Chico, Chico the Barge, if you could hear this, okay, his money was wired. Okay, he cashed that check. If he didn't cash it, he's getting ready to cash that check. Make sure you get your money because it's not his money. It was intended to be your money. And his commission should be no more than 10%. Okay? 10% of $4,000 is $400. So he put me in jail for 6 days for $400. Okay? Make sure you get your money, Chico the Barge, because the contract was supposed to be with you or for you to perform at Club One. Okay? But I'll tell you something. Big shout out to the correction officer at that facility. I think it's TGK in Dade County. Every last one of them was hospitable. They address me as Mr. Thomas at all time. Not just me, but I see they address every inmate as their last name with Mr. in front of it. I don't know why they had put me in the crazy ward and the light never went off, fluorescent light for 23 hours. It was crazy. It was hell. But if it wasn't for one psychologist, probably would have lost my mind. And a couple of security guards. And all those 2 Latin inmates that brought me fruits. And the gentleman, Mr. I'm trying to remember your name, brother. Okay, because you brought me a bag of goodies. Okay, when they transferred me upstairs. All right, but I got you. I got that commissary. I got that money. I'm putting it in your commissary because you guys show me that even in jail, people have heart. And that was dope. Okay, so that's about it. I don't have nothing else to say to y'all other than the haters who have all those negative things to say about me. I'm going to give you even more to talk about. Okay, because I'm only going to rise, baby. Okay, though I walk through the shadow of death, I should fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Okay? I say that every day I was in there. Okay? Psalm 23. Because he got my back. There's nothing that y'all could do that could F me up. I'm not supposed to curse, especially when I'm talking about God. Okay? Again, thank you for everybody that wish me well. Okay? I was thinking about my kids. I was thinking about my staff. I was thinking about my woman. I was thinking about my brother, my mother, my father, my parents at 82 years old. My parents are still together over 60 years, still together. And my dad had never spent a week or a day in jail. So I know he was disappointed. I was disappointed about that also. But I have 3 sons, and I would never want to see them go through that. Okay? All right? They treat you like animals in there. They feed you like animals. It's crazy. Okay? But there's a reason for everything, right? Okay? I'm focused, and I'm only going to get better. Okay? Bar 1 Miami is coming soon. Okay? Sports 1 is still doing great. Club 1 is banging them out. Okay? All right, look out for me because I am coming to a city near you. Peter Thomas, love, peace.
So he did go into some details. I really can't speak too much on it because, I mean, there are things that give me pause, but I really don't know. But it does suck that he had to pay something. So the fact that you still had to pay something just to get out of, jail, that kind of makes me give you this side eye ever so slightly. But he's out. He has some words for his boy Chico, and that's that. Now, for what I really wanted you guys to listen to. So, Steve Harvey had, during these Pace, on his show, she sung down, as the Pace sisters do. I said they're a gospel, family. Sung it down, had people crying in tears, all that good jazz. Well, Steve Harvey posted that to his, I believe it was his IG. And then Tina, I think her last name is now Lawson, Beyonce's mother, got about to say Knowles, but I'm not going to disrespect her like that. She also posted that to her social media. It was at that point that Miss Tamar Braxton decided that she wanted to comment about, of all things, the unit. The hypocrisy. And let's just say people were not happy because it's just like, of all the things to comment on, especially given, the fact that she literally was singing and being inspirational, you decide to talk about this. Well, let's just say that her sister Leslie was not all that pleased with it. So, I mean, before I get to it, I'm just let y'all listen to it. But let me just tell you that when I tell you Leslie gave a sanctified read, a holy read. That was one of those where, especially if you've been in the church or you caught all of it, one point in the end, she kind of gives a look like this. I was just like, oh, she felt that thing. She felt that thing. And I was just like, I would love to be a fly on the wall just to hear Mama Evelyn get in Tamar's ass because, And what also is kind of crazy is I wonder if this will affect any business dealings that she will have with Steve Harvey in the future, because even though I don't see it for Steve, we do know that he is a Christian and that's what he lives by, and the fact that that was a guest and all the other stuff probably not going to help her out. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and hear what Leslie had to say. Just sit back, get you a nice little drink, get you some popcorn, get you some snacks, because it's about like good 12 minutes or whatever. But I want y'all to enjoy it. I'll be right back.
So I'm not going to wait. I was going to wait till people come in. People say, come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm not doing that. Oops, almost dropped it. So I went to this concert this afternoon and enjoyed myself and had a really, really, really nice time. And so I'm getting all of these messages from family members and whatnot, and and I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? What is going on? So I go to Instagram. My nephew Blake tells me, well, I'm getting ready to tag you about something on Instagram. So my sister Duranis did the Steve Harvey show. She did a taping for the Steve Harvey show last week, and it was a really great, an amazing thing for her, for all of us. But she was right there, so and it was a great door for her. And this morning, today, Steve Harvey posted posted her singing. Miss Tina Lawson reposted it and was talking about a good Sunday morning song. And Tamar Braxton took it upon herself to be evil. That's why I said evil is what evil does. And she said that my sister's wig was stressing her out. Yes, she's good, but her wig is stressing her out. And initially, as a little sister, because sometimes people have the tendency to think that because we are singers and gospel singers and preachers and teachers and saved and filled with God's precious Holy Ghost, you all have a tendency to make us not normal and not real sometimes. And sometimes people don't think we have feelings. But I have, Tamar. It's on Instagram. And so but that's my big sister. And no, we haven't posted everything that she's been going through. Oh gosh. Everything that she's been going through in her health, because it's her health issues. The family, we've been with her, but those were her issues. And so, for those of you that have seen my sister in the past few years, she doesn't have long, lengthy, beautiful hair. She didn't shave her hair just because she wanted to shave it, because of the medications and everything that she's been going through. This happened, but I didn't come on here for that. The thing about it is, because I don't have to defend my sister. My sister is a beautiful person, whether she has long hair or the short hair that she's rocking. She's my sister, and I love her. She's my big sister, and she's my oldest sister, and she has taught me a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things. I learned, how to sing from Nisi. I learned how to work an audience from Nisi. A lot of things from Nisi and Sean, because they were the most extroverted singers in the family other than my father. But she made a negative comment about my sister. And I just, Tamar always talking about hallelujah and talking about Jesus, but I don't think she understands Jehovah. I don't think you understand, Miss Braxton, about touching God's anointed. I don't think you ever read the story about the children that were picking at the prophet with the bald head, and two bears came out of the woods and annihilated them. I don't think you've seen that one. I have not even seen it. You probably haven't seen it because most people like you, unless it's on TV or somebody tell you, you don't know the word of the Lord. So I get it. I get it that you are insecure and you are hurting. So you want to hurt someone else. I understand. I get it. When you hear anointing, it bothers you because you don't have it. So I can get with that. I can understand that. But the thing about the anointing that my sister has, that yoke that's in your life, if you let her sing and pray for you long enough, it will break off and you won't be evil. Because I know that you don't really like being evil, but because it has gotten you so much attention to this day, then therefore you live in it. So you're living in your evil. But God has more for you, precious. He wants you to be delivered. He wants you to be free. He wants you to really be happy. There is happiness and out there for you in Jesus, but you first have to be delivered. And I understand. I wanted to, when I first read your comment, I really wanted to, I went into little sister mode. I was 5 years old swinging like somebody was, like I was electrocuted. I wanted to, I was hot. But then I saw and I realized, I read your comments and then I read your spirit and I saw that you're broken. I saw that you are hurt. I saw that you are insecure. And I don't fault you for your comments, because those are the kind of comments that insecure people make about another singer. They try to find something to take away. So the one thing that you could find, because you can't take away the voice, you can't take away the anointing, you can't take away how she made you feel. So that spirit wouldn't let you just rest and let her be who she is. You had to say something that was not quite, that was ugly and that was evil. I called it evil because probably people don't tell you it's evil, so you don't realize that it's evil. In this day and time, they tell you you're clapping back or you speaking truth or you crazy girl. Girl, I can't believe you said that. Oh, I can believe she said it because it comes out of her spirit. And when your spirit is tainted and and dark and messed up and hurt and bruised, then the only thing that can come out of you is dark, tainted, hurt, and bruised things. So my prayer is that that you don't have to apologize to my sister, because she is still who she is. When you finished your negative comment, it did not stop thousands from being blessed. It just made people really see you for who you were. And I defended you. I would defend her to other people, Tamar. But, but I knew that you needed help, but I just didn't realize that it was really that deep, that you would touch somebody that loves the Lord and was only trying to do good. I see what you all are saying, and I would say something to you all, but she needs help. You need help, precious. And I know you went on a show the other day with your sisters, but see, that kind of power can't help you. We were there too, and it did nothing for us. Did that one because one of my sisters asked me to do it. Did that show. But you need the touch of the Lord. That same woman that you are talking about, her wig, you need to call her and have her to pray for you. Or any one of us, and pray for you. Because you need help, honey. You are headed down a path that no one will be able to save you. And I'm not just saying this because you're talking about my sister. What you said about my sister divulged and exposed where you really are in your life. And that is a sad place to be in. Doesn't matter who you are. I don't care about the Tamartians. They are nothing compared to Jesus and the power that he has. You don't need any Tamartians. You need the Holy Ghost. You don't need to go to nobody conferences sitting on the front row and letting them pacify you into staying who you are and keeping those demonic forces that hold you down. You need to be around some people that can pull, if you want it, because some people like those little things that have them bound. They like those spirits. So you may love yours, but if you really want to be free, you come on down to Barnesville, Georgia, and let us know when you're coming so all of us can be there. And girl, we will stay there with you until you're really free. And if you're really into, you want to, if my sister's wig was bothering you that much, why don't you buy her some? Why don't you go, because you have money. See, people that have money that want to help people, they don't talk about them. They actually go and deal with whatever it is and give it to them secretly. I'll never forget one day I was using a letter opener, never used it before, and I had a friend, and I was using it the wrong way. And instead of him blasting me and laughing at me and telling me, oh, that you don't use a letter opener that way, he took the letter opener and the letter and said, Leslie, let's try it this way. Which from that day forth, I knew how to use a letter opener. What I'm saying is, if my sister's wig is aggravating you that much, millions, big dollars, buku dollars, why don't you get her some? Why don't you get her some? Why don't you, get her some? I know some people that do really nice hair. You know some people that do really nice hair and wigs. See, that's helping. That is the opposite. And I know no one has probably told you how to actually help somebody because you are very selfish. So that is how you help somebody. You don't tear them down, black sister. You build them up. Do you realize that we have enough people hating on us from other ethnicities? And you, my black sister, you're going to say something negative about another black sister? If it bothered you that much, you didn't have to make a comment. You could have found her and said, "Hey, I want to do something for you," or not even just a wig. Hey, I know somebody that can restore your hair, but there you go. You don't have any either, so maybe that's not your specialty. All right, so I'm getting petty, so I'm gonna go. God bless you all, Tamar. I hope you not find Jesus. I hope you allow him to change you. The things that you said were very evil, but I understand evil is what evil does, and that you're in a place where you're not free and you're unhappy and insecure. I know my sister's voice is amazing, She can sing the ABCs and, paint come off walls. I get it. I live with it. I'm not insecure about it. I'm empowered by it. But I guess you are insecure about it. Be well. You need to read that scripture about what happened to those children that were picking at the prophet. Pace Nation. That's my sister. And somebody said, "Oh, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." Y'all just let God fight your battle. If Israel had let God fight their battles, then David wouldn't need to have those 5 stones and that slingshot. God empowered them to fight their battles. All right.
All right, so before we get into Spotlight, because we're done. We're done. I wanted to bring up something from old. So what I want to bring up is from January 2017. To end this on just a happier note, because I mean, if what Leslie Pace said, didn't make you laugh, there was a tweet Yahoo News put out, and it was saying that Trump wanted a bigger Navy, but instead of bigger, well, you can replace the B with an N. And nobody called it. And y'all know how Black Twitter do, and Black Twitter had a field day with it. That had re-popped back up on my Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I laughed so hard. I'm like, you know what? Time to sit here, go back in time, and bring this to you guys, because if I laughed, I know you guys are going to laugh. So before we get into Spotlight, go ahead, look at these tweets and whatnot, get you a good laugh before we wrap the show up. I'll be right back.
get no sleep cause of y'all. Y'all not gonna get a sleep cause of me. I didn't get no sleep cause of y'all. Y'all not gonna get a sleep cause of me.
I had to add in the Tanisha one, the video, and then if you guys get a chance, I'm gonna see if I can find it on YouTube. If I can, I'll put that in the pinned comment section. But somebody did a Tanisha always on beat when I tell you, because when I saw that pop back up on my timeline, I had to go find that video just so I can laugh, because that should be funny. Alright, so I hope you guys had a good laugh there. So go ahead and wrap this show up. Spotlight, 21 Savage has announced that in conjunction with his nonprofit organization Get Schooled and Juma, his campaign will enter its next phase, which is aimed at getting 150 jobs for at-risk teens this June. So big ups to him for that. Coming off of, you know, the whole ICE incident, still trying to sit here and help the community. So shout out to that brother. And last but not least, T-Pain, like I said, he was revealed to be the Masked Singer. Shout out to him for that. But following that, he is also set to host this year's iHeartRadio Music Awards. So shout out to T-Pain, Teddy Pendergrass down. Shout outs to him. I hope you guys enjoyed this week. Hopefully, you know, everything went well. I did my best not to clear my throat as much as I did in the last video. For those of you who don't know, like I said, I just have a whole lot of mucus buildup in me. I'm working on that right now. So, yeah, that is it for this week. Again, if you guys have any topics, please email me. Any topics for next week. I will do my best to get my reviews out today because I am late. Didn't get around to it this week because a lot of stuff happened. If you guys need some new specs and whatnot, go ahead, hit the description box below. Check out Firmu. Also, if you guys need some, you know, vape juice, because y'all know our vapes over here, y'all can go ahead, click the link down below. Also get you some good juices from 8 Vape. So that's all I got. I will see you guys for the next video. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys later. Peace.